Blog Talk Radio.
Nothing more than the spiritual principles in motion.
You're now listening to Practical Spirituality with your host, Ori Oasis, and co-host, Glammie Witch.
If it's not practical, it's not spiritual.
Don't we feel the same when we hear a baby laugh? Smell a rose from a beloved, or walk in the rain? We are all made of the same magic called life. Let us step together into a new earth.
Can y'all hear me now? I've been talking all that time. Can you hear me?
There you are. Yep, now we can hear you.
Well, I do apologize, everybody. I don't know what happened. I've been talking all that whole time. No one heard a thing. So we're going to start this over again. Welcome to another episode of Practical Spirituality, where this week we have the lovely Mariaan of Akashic Inspirations, who I have deemed the gratitude goddess. And the reason why is every time you look at her video, every time you talk to her, she always has something to be grateful for, which kind of makes you feel like crap. But she always has a reason to. She always has a reason for you to be grateful, for you to help stay in that grateful space and that space of prosperity. So she's our special guest tonight. We also have the lovely, energetic Glammie, who is my host, co-host, consort, other half on the show, whatever you want to call it. We have her on the show, too, who's always in a bright, beautiful, bubbly mood, which also sometimes makes me feel like crap, but she's always full of energy. So, you know what, Glammie, since, you and Mariaan have a beautiful special connection, I'll let you go ahead and introduce her and do all these other things and say all the beautiful things about her.
Okay, all right. Well, Mariaan Moore and I have been working together now. How long has it been, girl? Like 2 years?
Yeah.
And, we met by, actually, I was doing some free readings on YouTube, and I think Mariaan was one of the first people I had done a reading for. And, never thought to hear from her again. And a couple weeks later, she messaged me and told me, she was like, oh, my gosh, I did the things that I said I was going to do. And I was like, oh, my gosh, really? And I think ever since then, it just took off, and she became an Akashic reader. And we've done a couple of Google Hangouts. And when I was actually just looking over our videos, we had done a Hangout on prosperity and abundance, which was basically, we called it setting intentions and, basically creating and manifesting. So I don't know if you remember that, Mariaan, but I was just checking it out because I remembered that we had done it, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this is perfect for what we want to talk about. And so what I wanted to say, you guys, is if you go to AkashicInspirations.com, which is her website, it's all one word, on there she has, and Mariaan, you can talk about this, some free downloads on some really great books that I think are just perfect for what we're talking about today. And one of them is The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. And then the other free download that she has on her website is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So I thought maybe you could kind of go into that a little bit.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much for giving me the Gratitude Goddess title. I love that.
I was like, ooh, I don't have a title.
I'm like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
I'm working on it. I'm working on yours, Glammie.
Cool.
And it's actually thanks to Glammie, so I'm in great gratitude to Glammie, who gave me that free reading to give me the confirmation to take my first Akashic record class. And let me tell you that the first time I went in, the very first lesson, I just knew from that moment that this is what I'd been looking for, like, all my life. Like, all the spiritual studies I'd done. And I mean, I've tried everything. I've just done everything, you know. Just everything from creative visualization. I mean, I would just get started on things and in the middle of it go, no, this is not for me. You know, I mean, I would try and take the best that I could from everything, but I just knew it wasn't something that I could stay long term with, and because it was so structured. And so the Akashics just afford it feeds my curiosity, it feeds my intellect, it feeds my constant wanting to know more, you know. And so that's what the Akashics do for me. So I try to put some of those type of things on my website. And free downloads. These books were written, like, you know, in the early 30s, even the early 1900s. And what I find fascinating about these writers, like William Waddles and Florence Scovel Shinn, and you know, that what they write about is it touches upon a universal truth, which is still valid today, you know, 100 years later, practically. And so these are just free downloads you could find on Google, or you could download them from my website. But I wanted to kind of give people some of the books that have led me to where I'm at today. And, you know, one of the first ones that I read, like, many years ago was Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And I think it was probably, oh, my God, I'm going to really date myself now, but it was probably in the early 80s when I really first started my adult search for spirituality.
When you were 10 years old?
Yes, I was a child genius reading Napoleon Hill in the 80s. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. You are what you are, right? So,
that's it. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be on this radio show if probably didn't have my age and my experience. So there you go. It's just these type of what he talks about. It's really, even though the stories may have, like, I mean, he talks about people like a Rockefeller and you know, all of these barons that created what is really the economic structure of New York City, which is, of course, the economic center of the entire world, you know, as far as I'm concerned. So they created these in an era where it was the Depression, or, you know, and even before. I mean, of course, Rockefeller was before that, but like J.P. Morgan, John Paul Getty, Dale Carnegie, who, of course, he also, you know, Napoleon Hill was like a contemporary of Dale Carnegie, which is really big on, you know, on speaking, on public speaking, and getting people to be positive and be up, you know, how to be an uplifting motivational speaker. And so I remember there's one specific story that really kind of stuck with me from Think and Grow Rich. And if you don't mind, I'll share it really quick, because it talks about perseverance. And I think when we're up and happy, everything's really easy. It's when you're down in the dumps hard and life is throwing you experiences and lessons for you to get through. That's when you have to really take these truths to heart and keep in your center and just be grateful for everything. There was a man who had he had bought this gold mine. He bought this land, and he knew that there was like like a vein of gold. He'd been working at it and working at it. He had spent all his money. He had come from the East. He was in Colorado, and he was plugging away at it. And, his family kept telling him, go back home. His wife was like, what are we doing here? I don't want to be here. We're losing all our money. You're going after this pipe dream, and just give it up. So they finally convinced the man. He gives it up. He sells it to the next person. And a week after he sells it, the people were working the mine, and they found the vein of gold that was looking for so long for. So it's like, gosh, if you'd just gone just a little bit farther, you never know, what vein of gold you'll hit. So if you're working for your dream and it's your passion and you just know it, don't let anybody else take that away from you, because you know more about you than anybody else. They don't know who you are. And so it's like, don't give up. Don't give up. Even though things may look kind of bleak, you never know what is around the corner for you. And I think that's one of the main things that we have to keep in mind, that the universe is abundant. There is there's an unlimited, endless supply. But if we only believed in it, if we only believed, we'd say we have faith and trust in God, or source or spirit or whatever you want to call, however you refer to it as.
Something.
But but if you really trust, then you have to trust that it's going to provide the best for you. And that's, I think, where we fall short. I think we fall short in our faith and our trust. And so gratitude kind of helps you build that up.
Yeah.
So gratitude, what is gratitude about? So let's start the evening with just stating a couple of things that we're grateful for. So I'll go first, and then you guys can chime in, and then maybe there'll be somebody who'd like to join in too. Okay, so today what am I grateful for? Okay, well, actually, I'm grateful because I got to spend time with my daughter at her school field trip, which they have like the school fair going on. They have the rides and stuff, so all the kids got to ride. So it was a lot of fun that I have a job that allows me time to have a balanced life. So I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for being with my daughter and having fun with all the kids. And I'm grateful to be able to just be on the radio talk show with you guys and share with my friends, because you guys are my friends. So, I mean, what better than to talk about our passion and, and to do this. And somebody actually wrote to me on Facebook that I had taken a class with about 2 years ago, actually. She says, oh, my God, you got over your fear, and look at all these amazing things you're doing, and now you're going to be on a radio show. And I'm like, woo, yes, I did it. So I'm grateful for that. All right, you guys are next.
All right, Dia, it's your turn,
put
Dia.
you on the hot seat.
Oh, I got to go next? Okay. One, I am grateful for, I have to preface this with all the changes that have happened in my life. I would say within the past 3 years, there's been a lot of crazy changes. And this year has been really going good. Then there's some crazy changes at the end. I would say that I am grateful that my immediate family is just there for me. They allow me to go through whatever needs to go through without question asked. I am grateful to have great friends around, close and far, who love me and who do wish me the best as well as I wish them the best. I'm grateful for my spiritual connections. I'm grateful for my everybody that's in my life, whether distant or close. I am grateful for my spiritual connection, and I am grateful that this time in my life I am at a place where I could be totally, and I know I probably went over 4, but this time in my life I'm at a place where I could totally freely be who I was meant to be without any hindrance, hesitations, or second thoughts. And I'm also grateful for this. At this point out, I'm an only mentor. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, what was that last part? I just stepped all over you. Go ahead, sorry.
I was messing with somebody in the chat room who said I was their mentor and I didn't know it, and so I'm grateful to be an unknowing mentor.
Oh yeah, and then it's funny how I think that all three of us have pretty much started on our path 3 years ago. When we really hit. It's very interesting because we're all different ages, but I feel like that's really, when you look at it, we kind of just hit our stride about 3 years ago, and I finally found my passion of spirituality at 42. So after almost having given up on ever finding my passion, so I'm really, really grateful for that, because I think up until that point, although you're a mother and a wife, you always want to have that other dimension to you. So I always kind of felt like there was something that I just needed that one more piece. And, when I started reading cards, that's when I found that other piece. So I'm totally grateful for that. And I also agree that, I'm also grateful that I'm able to stay home, that I'm able to pursue, my YouTube career and my card reading career, because I'm I'm able to stay home. So that's definitely what I'm grateful for.
Yes, and I do want to make one quick correction. As far as YouTube is concerned, or as far as coming out the closet, fully coming out the closet is concerned, I came out, I think, a year after y'all. So for me, actually coming out the closet fully has been about a 2-year process. I dabbled on and off, I dabbled on and off privately for a while, but as far as coming out publicly and I still haven't truly fully came out with everything I know, but coming out publicly and accepting more clients publicly from not just people how close to me, but people who are letting spirit bring to me whoever wants a reading from me or spiritual counseling or whatever. That actually just happened. I would say about 2 years ago. So I just want to make that quick connection. If anybody searching and looking up, they'll go, oh wait, I didn't know your YouTube channel is 3 years old. No, it's not. It's not 3 years old.
Right, no, but I meant like our
what I had and how far
basically our path.
Yeah,
and I just meant just kind of hitting our stride for our path, and where everything kind of just started clicking together. Like Mariaan was saying, it took her a while. Like she's been on this. My gosh, she's been doing amazing treks to amazing places in the world. For years and years, but I think these last couple of years when everything kind of culminated. But I'm definitely grateful.
I want to go back to these places now, knowing what I know now.
Right.
Because I felt the spirituality of the places when I went. I knew it was sacred, but I certainly wasn't in tune enough with my own spirituality to even remotely apprient it like I would now,
Yep.
So, but it's funny because you always carry that, it's funny, like you can't unknow something. So even if you've traveled to places, when you're younger, you can still bring that energy forth and work with it now because it's within you. I mean, you have it. And I think that is the key to working multi-dimensions as well, and other, that's another day, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to catch you on that because this is something that we were talking about, Mariaan and I have discussed, is as above, so below. So, feeling this amazing spiritual connection, but being in a funk in the 3D world, as far as, okay, you're prosperous spiritually, right? That's amazing. How do you bring that down to the 3D world? And, so I was listening to the beginning of our other Google Hangout, and, Mariaan, you were talking about that what you were reading was saying, ask just for blessings in general at first. Nothing specific.
I want to hold that thought just for a minute because we already had 2 callers. One person pressed 1 as soon as the show started, and they've been holding for 20 minutes.
Wow.
So I want to get these 2 callers in for the ones that pressed 1. First caller, area code 505-867. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what are you grateful for?
Hi, I'm in the Southwest, and my name is Patricia, and I'm just so excited and grateful for my spirituality opening up. I've been having a lot of communication with spirit. Angels are coming through. The guides are coming through, and I'm starting to hear and see and receive really beautiful divine messages. I'm grateful for everything, but that just really stands out to me.
Well, that's awesome. You know what?
That is beautiful.
I've heard that from a lot of people. I mean, the angels right now are really making their presence known to us.
Absolutely.
And as we're talking about this as above, so below, I feel that my gifts are changing. And of course, they evolve just like everything else evolves. So I, too, have been seeing more angels, like really seeing them, like, you know, what is it? What clear is that? When you have clear audio, clear visual? I don't know.
Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant. Thank you. My mind just went blank. So very clairvoyant, and I guess that's also because, you know, I'm in the Akashic so much that I see things for others that now I'm able to see their angels, which is really they're just so beautiful. You know, and we see them the way that will be easiest for us to accept.
Right.
So some people see orbs. I actually see angels with wings. That's how I see the face. I see them in a more humanistic way. It's probably just the way that I grew up. You know, I grew up Catholic. I know that Tia did too, and Debbie. So, you know, our Catholic roots, you know, play a part. They're part of your spirituality, you know, because it's what you know in this life as the base. So that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. Do you have you always been like empathic, or is this something that's coming on to you now that you've opened yourself up to now, or is it something you've kind of always kind of had?
I believe that when I was a real young girl, I think I used to see, and I used to know. I was very claircognizant as a little girl, and I think what happened is it scared me, and I shut it down, and it's just coming back to me now. And it seems like my life is, now that I'm clearing up a lot of karma, my life is going back to when I was younger, and now I feel a freedom to be who I really was supposed to be after clearing up all that junk.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I think that's popular for everybody. You know, I think that happens to a lot of us, that, you know, these things open up to us when we're really young, and we're too young for it, so we completely shut it down. That's exactly what happened to me, and I shut it down as a child, and then you know, I couldn't get it. It was a battle. You know, it was kind of, you know, like you're saying, like a path where you have to kind of clear all these things, and it didn't come back to me till like 44. So yeah, I totally resonate with what you're saying. So I think that's just awesome.
Yeah, and about the angel, I was just going to say, my guardian angel came to me twice, and the last time he came to me, it's a male. He was sitting on my couch. And that's all he said was, he was sitting on my couch. He said hi. But he looks like, he appears to me like a human. And but it was just so funny.
Well, Patricia,
I guess it's so we're not startled, you know.
Yeah, but we have to get to the caller who has now been holding for about 22 minutes. Patricia, I thank you so much for calling in and blessing us with your story of gratitude, and we wish you all the best. I'm sorry, we're going to have to put you on mute now, but I do hope you can stay for the rest of the show, because towards the end of the show, I am giving away a free reading, my financial energy reading, and that'll be done with Astrology Financial Energy Reading, and that'll be given away towards the end of the show. So I'm going to put you back on mute, and towards the end of the show, when I announce that we're about to give away the reading, hopefully if you press one in time, you'll be the person that win it. But I do wish you all the best. And there's any last words you have for the guest or our gratitude goddess, or anything you want like to say?
No, I will go ahead and listen in.
Yay.
Well, thanks, Patricia.
Yay.
Thank you.
Well, again, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, our next caller is area code 925-289. Again, it's area code 925-289. What's your name? What you calling from? What are you grateful for?
Hi, my name is Raina, and I'm calling from right now currently Sacramento, California.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and I'm actually calling. I want to thank Glammie. I know I want to thank Glammie because she actually, went ahead and sent me an invite on this. So thank you, Glammie, for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Raina. Do you have a question Do you have a question for our gratitude goddess, and what are you grateful for?
I'm just grateful for everything that I do have right now. I actually more of a growing spiritually. Within these past 2.5 years, I want to say I kind of just focused on it, and I just kind of just started, growing spiritually, and my, just kind of putting myself out there, and letting the public actually know. And I finally wasn't afraid to do it. I finally said, the hell with it. This is what I, this is what I do. This is who I am. And I'm not gonna, be scared anymore about it. And just go ahead and just, publicly announce it. And so forth has happened, and I've been growing, and I now have more clients, that I've actually got. And I just, and I want to actually say thank you to Glammie just because I started watching Glammie about 2 years ago, and Kat Rodriguez as well. And I kind of took it from there. And I want to say thank you, Glammie, for that.
Oh, you're welcome. What's your Facebook name?
Oh, yeah, Colores.
I thought so. Oh, my gosh, awesome. Oh, well, I'm glad you were able to get on. And, I'm definitely, I totally agree with you. I mean, even when I first came onto YouTube, I didn't automatically set up like a Facebook page or anything like that because I was kind of a little, still a little shy about putting myself out there. And I tell you, when I finally just got I don't want to say anything bad, but when I finally got the nerve, let's put it that way, to do it, boy, that was really liberating. And so, I think as far as, that kind of does open you up for other things. And like you were saying, like you started picking up more clients and things like that, because I think that you're kind of embracing your passion. And, and I know that there's a school of thought out there, and I think it's Doreen Virtues, that if you pursue your passion, then the money will come, then the money will come to you. So I think,
it's always awesome. Been, and it's always been something that, my family, even from long ago. I mean, I used to really, before I even got into this, I remember asking my grandma, I think I'm going crazy here because I'm hearing things and it's not normal. And then when I was 14 years old, I really thought I actually looked up the word schizophrenic because I thought that I was going schizophrenic. She's like, no, honey, it's just, this is what it is. You have a lineage, and this is who we are. Ignore it for a couple of years, but then as I was evolving and stuff, I was like, I can't ignore it anymore. I got to just do it, and I just kind of put myself out there, and I kind of just took on, what you guys were saying on YouTube, and I just did it. I just said, hell with it. I got to do it. I can't ignore it no more.
That's right. Nobody paying your bills, right? You do what you want to do because ain't nobody going to pay your bills.
Maria, I thank you for calling in. I thank you so much for calling in. We do actually have another caller that I'm going to get to before we go to commercial break.
Please.
Wow, this particular hour is going so fast.
Oh, it is. Awesome.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Mariana questions. Thank you so much for calling in. And again,
you're welcome.
And again, I wish you all the best with your spiritual walk. Many blessings to you both.
You too, hon.
So we're going to take our next caller, who seems to have been holding on just as long, about 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I know. And after this caller, we're actually going to go to the commercial break, and then we're going to a second half where we actually get to ask the gratitude guidance questions on how to be in that grateful spot. So area code 360-733. Again, that's area code 360-733. What's your name, where you calling from, and what are you grateful for, and what are the questions you have for us?
My name's Lori, and I'm from Washington State. I'm living in Washington State.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. And I'm grateful that I'm grateful I have my cats for my company, and I'm grateful I still have a roof over my head. And I'm grateful yeah.
I'm grateful the sky is blue, even if it's only that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Even sometimes we just can't think of things. So go to the very basics. The sky is blue. I'm here. And
the sun came up this morning.
The sun came up this morning. Yeah. Just sometimes you're just like, you just feel beaten down, and we've all been there. But the key is if one of the things before we go to break, and I could just bring it up quickly that I wanted to talk about, is actually writing things in a gratitude journal, or just your regular journal, or if you don't have a journal, then write it on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. The writing of what you're grateful for kind of makes it real because you're putting it on paper, and it just kind of brings the magic of the thought into reality by having your pen, or if you're on your computer. I mean, I like pen and paper myself because I think there's more connection between spirit and allowing spirit just kind of flow through you. The first couple ones may be difficult to think of, and then things just seem to start opening up, and that's when spirit's flowing through you, and basically that's what automatic writing is about, is that connection to higher self that comes out in your writing, and if you just let it go, and I know that's one of the exercises that a lot of writers use. It's just kind of a free flow type of thing, and you just let it free flow. And even if you can only think of 3 things, well, that's good enough. Start with that. The thing is to start. The thing is to truly be in an appreciative mode, because remember, the solution to our problems is not in the same vibration as the question. The question and the solution are in different vibrations. So you want to work your way from the question to the solution. And the way you do that is by little forking your way out of the hole and going towards the light, let's say, if you will, metaphorically speaking. Just getting yourself a little bit more in tune, going towards being open to receiving solutions when you think there are none and you don't know where they're coming from. And that's where what I was talking about, trust and faith, come into play, because the universe can make things happen that you never in a million years would have thought. And that's what synchronicity is all about, is weird things coming into play to create a solution to a problem that you may have, because you're open to receiving and you're in a space where you will be able to perceive the synchronicity and to have awareness. And
to know that,
when we're focused on the problem and we're focused on the lack, then that's what we will see, because that's what we're asking to see. And so the universe gives it to you. And even if you say, I'm still in the same boat, no, it's not really the same boat. It just appears to be that way. That it appears that you're not moving, but in each moment and each second or each thought is a chance for you to move yourself and tweak your perception just a bit. Even if it's just a bit, it will be enough to steer you in a new direction. And that's what where the perseverance comes in.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. I know that.
Oh,
true.
I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not in a good place. Especially when what you see in the physical is not what you're desiring to have. Okay. And that's where it comes into play, that you have to understand that your vibration, where your vibration is right now, is what is going to be creating for your future. Okay. So if you want more of the same, then stay depressed. If you don't want more of the same, then you better find a way
to get
a little bit happier, so that it will change.
Yep. Exactly.
And even if that's petting your cat, because I have a cat, and they are so loving.
Oh, they are. They are.
And that allows you to be present in the moment. Animals are all about the present. Mm-hmm. They don't think about the future. They just think, okay, feed me now, give me water now, and pet me now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pet me later. We want you right now. And they'll come and they'll crawl against you. They'll stand on your book. They'll crawl across your computer. Like, hello, I'm here. Hello. Until you pay attention to them. So they're a great way of, they're great guides, really, for our lives, if we allow them to be so.
Yeah, exactly. And Lori, we thank you so much for calling in, but we do have to go to a commercial break right now.
Yep,
I wish you all the blessings of life in the world, and I wish you all the blessings on your spiritual path. And I hope that you take all the advice that our gratitude goddess has given you, and just start looking at the little stuff that you can be grateful for. It doesn't have to be big or significant. Start off little, and as you start off little, you will start to see more things and more paths opening up. So I do thank you again for calling in. Hopefully you're able to, again, like the rest, they're able to stay on the line. So when we go to the part where we're giving away the free financial energy reading, you may actually be the winner if you press 1 again. So, again, thank you for calling in. We love you. But right now we have to get ready to go to a commercial break.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Right now we're about to go to commercial break, as I said, and we will come back on the other side with asking actually our gratitude goddess questions about how to get into that space, create that space, what the prosperity bowl is all about, and all that.
E kanu e sanu na me kani na a. Ele wesna I kani wasna me I kani esna unakan. Ale tina tuigani me I atuna awan. Alasna e kiasana ayosnami anawan. E vesna hatu.
Rivers of speech run smoothly, and honey flavors your tongue. So the words can sweeten your spirit and fly to the Father's ears and lift you up in delight.
For a customized light language channeling from the universe to you, go to Glammie'sAngels.com. That's Glammie'sAngels.com. You're now listening to Practical Spirituality with your host, Ori Oasis, and co-host, Glammie Witch.
All right. We are back, and let's see if I can get everybody back on. Yes, we are back. So we don't have too much time left. We only got 20 minutes. Let's get into the questions.
Okay.
This hour,
well, you're going to have to get a longer show.
No,
that's it.
I refuse.
You got to get a longer show, girl.
I refuse. But,
I just wanted to say one thing, that I was listening to the commercial with Glammie's light language, and I have to tell you what I heard it say. I heard it say, be light of heart, O beloved ones. So be light of heart. That's what I heard. It was so beautiful. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Have I heard that light language?
You know what? You brought up a good point, because when you listen to a channeling, each time you listen to it, you can get something different from it.
Absolutely.
And I love it. There's been times when I go back to some of my old meditations or old journalings, and y'all both know me. I don't journal that much. I normally get it in like a picture form, and y'all see me draw the little horrible pictures. But each time I go back, sometimes I get something. Sometimes I get something different from it. So I'm glad that came to you, so that other people know they can go back to their own journalings, old meditations, and it might have a new message for you now. So let's get right into the questions. So the first question is for you, my gratitude goddess. How does someone get into that gratitude space? What are ways that they can do to get into that space of gratitude? And the second part of that, obviously, what would be ways that they can stay in that gratitude space? And that actually should cover everything. Hopefully.
For the next 20 minutes. Okay. I'll talk fast. Well, the first thing was what we were talking about, the gratitude journal, journaling. Or if you're a creative artist, drawing, whatever comes to you easily. I happen to write, so I write a journal. But I do think it is important to write down 3 things, at least review them in your mind before you go to sleep, because that way what happens is you work with your inner self, your higher self, during the evening, during the night when you're asleep. So that's you don't want to be thinking about your financial worries as you go to sleep, because that's what's going to percolate all night long. So what you want to take into the other dimensions and your sleep realm is something a little bit more positive. So it's always really good just to lay down and, just as you're falling asleep, go, just thank you, God, for my children. Thank you, God, for my family, or thank you for at least just letting me have a place to lay my head down, and whatever it may be, and then one of the other things that is really I've kind of taken bits and pieces from different places, and I kind of put them all together, and that's what that prosperity video is all about. The idea of the bowl, I actually got it from Team Light, who are in Sedona. And it was one of the girls, and I'm sorry, I have to go back to the video and actually get her name, but she's the dark-haired girl, and what is
the bowl? Because you're talking so fast. So what exactly is the bowl? I love that you're talking
fast.
Oh
yeah. Okay. So
all right.
Her prosperity bowl video, guys, I definitely encourage you to go onto YouTube and go to Akashic Inspiration on there, and she has this amazing video, which is about the prosperity bowl, and she made it so feminine and girly. I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it, you know.
She did.
And so, totally up my alley, and took it, from being really boring, because usually, I think when we think of money, it's like, especially when you don't have it all the time. And so, when she did a prosperity bowl, it's pretty pinks, and there's a purple bottle, and it definitely shifts your thinking. So you go ahead, Mariaan, and you tell them about the video.
Okay.
But I just wanted to throw that out there.
I'm a big believer in using things that you have at home. Okay, I'm a big crafty person, and it's not that you have to go out and buy all these things. Use what you have, right? Because obviously, if your whole intention is to create a prosperity bowl, it's not just about money; it's about abundance in all the areas of your life. So you could really put anything in there. What I did was I took a glass salad bowl that was really kind of pretty and, kind of like wavy pattern. And so because you want to be able to see what you're putting in there. Because the whole point is to have it as a visual cue on a daily basis. So this is not something you're going to hide, okay? It's going to be like pretty present in your house. It could be either when you walk in the door, or I happen to have it right as I walk in my bedroom. So every time I walk in my bedroom, I have it right on my dresser drawer, and that's where I see it. I also put candles, and, you could make it as girly, or if you're a guy, as, just to represent you, your personality. So what I did was I created also a very simple crystal grid in the form of an infinity sign. I used green adventuring, so I used a green stone, so I would recommend green stones. You have stones, use beads, whatever green you have, because obviously green is prosperity, growth, fertility, and, it's what it represents. I used rose quartz for love. I used black tourmaline for grounding and for protection and to set my space. And I used in the middle a citrine point that I had, because citrine is also about abundance and prosperity. So I also took certain stones that I had, like pyrite, clear quartz. I put a rose quartz. I put jade. And I put those stones inside the bowl. Now, what is the bowl supposed to contain? Well, you're supposed to put money in it. And because as you see the money flourishing, but what do you put? Well, you could put a dollar bill. And what I do with the dollar bill, before you put it in the bowl, you've got to clear the money. Because money tends to have a negative connotation with people, because they're spending it, they don't want to part with it. So what I do is I spray it down with a full moon water that I made. I put water under the full moon, and I added some jasmine rose oil, which is like smells so good. It's to die for. So
I love jasmine.
I put it in a spray bottle, and I take my spray bottle and I spray the dollar bill with it, and then I hold it between my palms, and I just kind of think out loud, or sometimes I say it out loud. I release any negativity that's held within this money from anybody who's had that negative thoughts about money. I love money. I love prosperity. I love abundance. And whatever bill this touches, whatever other money that this touches, will then get that positive effect to it as well. So because what I do is I periodically take that money out and I spend it, because prosperity is about flow. So you can't just let it sit there. You got to use it. You got to let it go. You have to, even if you just exchange it for another dollar bill, you take that one out and you use it and you put another one in. And I love using the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is a very simple prayer based on Hawaiian. The Hawaiian kahunas use it, and it's a prayer about releasing forgiveness and love. So it basically says, you say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, and thank you." So what I do is I write on the dollar bill, like kids do, the I, a heart, and you. So I love you, and I put it in my bowl. So whoever's going to get that dollar bill, they're going to see I heart you. So when you spend it, so you're spreading love, you're spreading compassion, you're spreading forgiveness. It's kind of like an all-in-one type of good feeling type of thing. Because to me, if I'm not of service, I can't just keep it to myself. I want to be able to share this with others so that energy spreads, and it eventually will come back to me.
Right.
That's
So, when
beautiful.
you give out, you get back.
Exactly. I don't mean to cut you off, but we do have a question from the chat room. And for those who are listening from the chat room, it looks like we may go into overtime, at least just to see who has won the free reading, but we're not going to do too much overtime. So for those in the chat room, the caller number is 347-989-8851. If you want to listen in about 10 minutes, it's going to cut off, and anybody in the chat room will not be able to hear. So, again, the caller number is 347-989-8851. The question we have for you, or I don't know if it's directed to you or directed for anybody who wants to answer, but to share the gratitude God, so I'm going to ask you. The question for you is, the person in the chat wants to know, how do you know who your angel guardian or guardians is or are? Is there a way that you can tell?
Well, I think what you got to do is you got to meditate or pray and ask. You have to ask. I would like to be able to receive my angel. I would like to know their name. I would like to be able to see them. I mean, we forget sometimes that some of these things can be kind of simple. And usually if you approach it in the simplest, heartfelt manner, it's the most effective.
Right.
So
and I think go ahead, you go, and then I'll go ahead. Sorry.
I just think you need to meditate, and I think you need to go within. That's the way you're going to know who they are, because it's within you that the answer lies. So only you're going to know who your guardian angel really, truly is, because it will speak to your heart.
Okay, and then what I always tell my clients is, what you want to do is say, okay, guardian angel, I want to know your name, I want to know who you are, and so I give you 1 week to show me what your name is, and basically what will start happening is, you'll see a particular name in the strangest places. And you'll see it in TV ads. You'll hear a conversation and somebody will say a specific name, and you're like, oh my God, that's like the third time I've heard this name. And so that's one of the ways that but you have to be open. Like, you have to make sure that you pay attention to the littlest clues. And they will do that not only in names, but in numbers also.
Well, and that's also very true about manifestation. Thing you want to manifest, which we in our manifestation video that Google Hangout that Glammie and I did, that we talked about this specifically. There's a book called E Squared, and now she's come up with a new one, E Cubed. Her name is Pam Grout, and she writes these really great books on how to prove to yourself that your thoughts create reality. And one of those techniques is specifically that. Right. You ask for a sign, or you ask for something, and you give it a time limit, 48 hours. Usually she says 48 hours. You do a week. If it depends on your belief system, but you have to be totally open during that time to receiving the signs. Say, I want a sign from my angel, and I want you to give it to me in 48 hours. I want to know your presence, to feel your presence, and to know that you're next to me. And
exactly. I follow.
If you have feathers starting to appear in the middle of your house and you don't have feather pillows, then you know your angel's around you.
That's right.
I swear, I literally had that happen to me. So.
Wow. Well, we have one more caller, we have one more caller, but I just wanted to say, in confirmation of what you were saying, I follow Valerie Love. Mainly because Valerie Love calls herself the Christian Rich, the Christian
I love
Witch.
her.
I'm sorry, and she helps me incorporate the old with the new. So, and she does the same thing. She gives it about 7 days. You got 7 days for a sign or whatever she asks for. She gives it a time frame, but she normally does it in 7 days. So that's just to confirm what you're saying. We actually have another caller who's been holding on for some time, so we're going to take this caller.
Goodness. Awesome.
I know. Everybody just loving the Gratitude Goddess. So we're going to take this caller, area code 817-200. Again, that's area code 817-200. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what are you grateful for?
My name is Crystal, and thank you for taking my call. I'm calling from Texas, and I was actually trying to get in the contest. I thought we had to raise our hand. But I'm grateful for okay. I'm grateful for this week, about 2 days ago, I was feeling depressed, and I called my god brother, and we were really close when we were little, and we were both in our 40s. And I kept feeling like, I wasn't loved or whatever. And he came to me and finally confessed to me that he was gay. And when he confessed it, which I already knew it in my heart, but I didn't want to uncover him. I didn't want to respect, because I knew he was trying to, accept it, and we came from the Bible Belt, so his grandmother was a minister, and I was in the church, so I guess he thought I wouldn't receive him. And I told him, I just burst out crying. I said, I'm so grateful because you saw that I needed you, that you came to me for real. You took off the mask and rescued me, and that let me know that I am deeply loved and treasured. So I'm grateful for that he, he risked exposing himself. Right. He didn't guard himself anymore, fearing rejection and judgment. And so that gave me wings to fly higher than what I was flying, and I'm grateful.
Oh, my God, I just got goosebumps. That is beautiful.
That is beautiful, but for anybody responds, we have 5 minutes left, so the area code, again, is 347, the phone number 989-8851. Anybody in the chat room, you will not be able to hear anything after 5 minutes, so please call in. And again, that's the number, area code 347-989-8851. I also do want to say that Noelle Cleveland, I hope I'm saying your name right, she said she tried your Prosperity Bowl, and it totally works, Marianne. But now we're respond to Crystal, because I don't want to cut her off, because that was a beautiful story.
Noelle is here.
I know. Hey, girl, that girl just manifested something like amazing.
She sure did.
Amazing.
That is beautiful, but I want to get back to Crystal because what she said was a beautiful. I mean, she didn't go too much detail, Crystal, but I understand that was a beautiful story. Do you have a question or a comment for the Gratitude Goddess?
I'm sorry.
I was asking, do you have a question or a comment for the Gratitude Goddess?
No, that was it. I was just, grateful for that. I just wanted to tell you that and be in the contest. Thank you so much.
Well, you are definitely in. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to put you back on mute.
Thank you.
Since we have 5 minutes left, you are more than welcome, Crystal. But since we have 5 minutes left, we're going to go in and go ahead and go into the contest. And I think the only way to make it fair, since everybody still actually is technically on hold for those who want to be in the contest, those who are still wanting to be in the contest have called in. Now is the time to press 1. And I'm going to ask the Gratitude Goddess, because I can see the back screen and everybody else may not be able to. Well, I know our guests cannot. I'm going to ask our Gratitude Goddess, Mariaan, to pick a number from 1 to 14, and that will determine who won.
Well, I got to pick 4.
4, so go. 4 down. That will actually be Raina. Raina, area code 925-289. You are back on the air. Raina, I hope I'm saying it is Raina. You are the one who have won the reading. Are you there?
That's me? Is that me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, are you serious?
Awesome.
Awesome.
That is super cool. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. So, Raina, what I'm going to need you to do to claim your prize, because obviously we got 3 minutes left. I cannot do it online. Actually, to give you a proper reading, I need more time to do it anyway. So what I'm going to need you to do is, do you have a paper and pen near you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, I'm going to need you to email me and let me know you as the winner, and you're going to email me at Ori's Oasis, ORISOASIS, @gmail.com. And just email me and let me know that you are the winner. And what I will do is I will send you a coupon code that you and only you can use and only be able to use once. And you can go on my website and you'll be able to use it for the and on my website it's called a financial energy chart, but it is an astrological financial energy reading. You can go there and the reading, even though it doesn't say it on the site, the reading actually does come with a mantra that you can use too.
Cool.
So, and let me tell you,
super excited.
Dia did this for a hangout last year with a couple of clients that Mariaan and I shared, and they just raved about it. And that was a mini chart. That wasn't even a full chart. And we talked about how accurate and spot on it was. So let me tell you, you're in for a treat.
Woo! Can't wait.
Yes. And all you need, all you would need is, of course, your date of birth and the location where you was born at. If you know your time of birth, of course, that's perfect. I can go deeper into the reading. But if you don't know your time of birth, that's still fine. As far as the financial energy reading, I can go with the information that you have.
Girl, please, I know that.
You know that.
Get it.
Awesome. Oh, my gosh.
So as we go into overtime, we're actually just going to shut the show down. I'm going to put you back on mute, Raina, and thank you so much for calling. And congratulations to you. And do you have the email, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, don't forget to email me so I can get you your free reading and get you to it, and hopefully in a timely fashion. So thank you for calling, and I'm putting you back on mute.
All right, perfect.
Yay. Yeah, we have our winner. So, yes. But obviously, I don't want to go into too much time. The show is only supposed to be an hour, I promised myself I'm not going overtime.
Go ahead.
We're going to have to actually, obviously, sooner or later, I don't know how sooner than later, but we're going to have to do a part 2 because we didn't even get to all the things to be grateful for. Oh, my goodness. This hour went way too fast. So we're going to start off with you, Mariaan, the Gratitude Goddess. I'm going to just call you that from now on, the Gratitude Goddess. What are your readings, your website, and what are the products that you offer so people get in contact with you?
Okay, well, you can always go to my website, www.akashicinspirations.com. I have a tarot card and oracle card readings. I have, of course, my Akashic readings for half an hour and an hour. You can contact me through Facebook at Akashic Inspirations, and you can go to my YouTube channel, Akashic Inspiration, and you can check out the Prosperity Bowl. I put it up on my trailer so people could see it easily. And it's also on my Facebook page. I just posted it so everybody can have it.
Oh, beautiful.
So, but thank you so
Mariaan.
much for having me. Oh, my God. This was just like, I needed this, guys. I needed
I
to
know
be
you
pulled up.
did,
So
girl.
I needed this. So you see, as you give, you get.
Yes, I'm going to take a few extra minutes because there are 2 other people who do press 1. I don't know if they did it for the reading or if they want to talk to you, so I do want to get to in real fast, so hopefully it won't go too long. I'm going to start with area code 904-422. Again, that's area code 904-422. What's your name, what you calling from, and what are you grateful for? Area code 904. Okay, I guess they don't want to. The other area code is actually calling from a block number. So the person who's calling from a block number, what's your name, where are you calling from, and what are you grateful for?
Is that me?
Yes, that's you, whoever it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I wasn't sure. Sometimes my number show up and sometimes it doesn't. I'm grateful that I got through and I get to talk with each of you. And I am thankful for the Grateful Goddess. She posts readings every day, which is an inspiration.
That's right. And I started that out of gratitude. I want you to know that.
Wow.
Oh, well, great. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed reading it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it. You know what? I get. You know, as a reader, believe it or not, you get as you. I keep saying this, but you get so much from others as well that you're doing the readings for. And because you're sharing energy, you know, you just kind of, you know, I just started doing that to kind of be grateful for, you know, being 2 years on YouTube, and I was just starting to, you know, I just wanted to do it for fun, and it's turned into this daily thing. But I said to myself, I'll continue to do this as long as I'm having fun. And that's why I, you know, and being grateful, and it's still so much fun. I get so many beautiful comments and people, you know, sending me messages, and you know, it's just still a lot of fun. And the readings, you know, that really resonate, and I could see, you know, people are telling me how much it helps them. So you know, I'll just keep doing it.
Well, I'd look forward to it every day or weekly, because you also do a weekly one.
Yes, I do my weekly YouTube readings. Yes, I do. Sometimes they're on time.
Well, thank you so much for calling in and blessing us with your spiritual energy. We wish you all the blessings in the world. But right now we're doing the end of the show. I'm going to have to put you back on mute. Thank you again so much for calling in. So, again, Mariaan, really fast, how can they get in contact with you one more time? Just to make sure everybody got it.
They can go to my website, AkashicInspirations.com, Facebook of the same name, and my YouTube channel, Akashic Inspiration. And they can just message me any of those ways. I'll be happy to talk to them.
All right. And, Glammie, how can people get in contact with you? You know, I want to call you the Amethyst Queen, but I'm trying to change that name. But every time I think of you, the Amethyst Queen.
You know, I just try to run away from Amethyst, and it just doesn't do me good. So you can call me that. That's fine. So they can get in touch with me on Glammie'sAngels.com. You know, very simple. I just have a couple readings on there, and you know, just that's the easiest way.
All right, and you can get in contact with me at orioasis.com. That's ORISOASIS.com for all your astrological readings, spiritual channeling, or oracle reading. You can also find me on Witches of the Moon on Fridays as one of the co-hosts, but they have different co-hosts all week long as a weekly topic from different perspectives. You can find me obviously right here once a month, either before or during the dark moon on the Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern with Practical Spirituality with my lovely co-host Glammie Witch. We'll have different topics every month as well as most of the times different guests. Other than that, you can find me at Ori Oasis on all social media. That's ORIOASIS. You can also find all of my children's books, which I have 3 children's books that are out now that are loved by adults as well, on Amazon.com under the author name Ori Oasis, ORIOASIS. hope I'm not forgetting anything because my brain went blank, but we are about to get out of here. Thank you for everybody calling in. Thanks for everybody calling in. We are so grateful for having y'all here, and we are so grateful for making this hour go quickly that now we have to do a part 2, maybe in the new year. But we're going to
that's a great idea.
Come back to this. Yes. So we love you all. We'll see you soon. And everybody have a blessed month, blessed week. Until we talk to you soon, make sure to check out all 3 of our YouTube channels. You have Glammie Witch, Akashic Inspirations, and Ori Oasis. Everybody have a blessed one. Peace.